Right behind me is the financial hub of Colombo, the World Trade Center. Ironically, despite the conflict, Sri Lanka's recorded an 8% growth rate. Industry is up by 40%, but masked by all those figures are the intangible realities. We caught up with someone who works at the World Trade Center, who's living it every day. With all this talk of war and uncertainty, they are worried about the health of the economy. Tense moments for 48-year-old Priyani Ratnagopal, Director Equity Sales at one of Sri Lanka's largest share-broking firms.
It's a natural reaction, I think, anywhere. You know, if you feel that there's a bomb going off or there's some sort of attack there, you don't know what's going to happen, what the reactions are going to be, so it's just human reaction immediately, think yourself.
It's not a scenario Priyani wants to work with every day. She returned to Sri Lanka 3 years ago after consulting with some of the biggest firms worldwide in London and Hong Kong to make a difference here. The Colombo Stock Exchange is all online now and has just 243 listed companies. Yet Priyani is worried that as an emerging market smack in the middle of conflict, it's far more vulnerable than any other.
There's a lot of investment that was looking to come in, mainly direct investment and things to the country, but the uncertainty is holding them back. They are definitely holding them back.
Keeping the team focused on the task ahead is becoming a bigger challenge for Priyani.
We are sitting at the World Trade Center here, and it's one of the target buildings, they say. Our staff are very nervous to come in, and they have families. They themselves may want to come in, but their husbands or their wives or the children say, ta-da, don't go into the World Trade Center. It does affect productivity. And I think in our line, at least, we have the option of having the facility for them to work out. But most probably there are other businesses that can't.
Over 500,000 people displaced by the conflict. 40,000 in just the past 2 months. They may seem like remote figures until you travel here to Tamil Tiger territory. It's a far cry from the prosperity of Colombo, and it's here that the human costs are counted almost every day. 4 months ago, a treacherous trek along the road between strife-torn Jaffna and Kilinochchi with a mother and sister changed 17-year-old Dakshini's life forever. Dakshini had barely completed her class 10-11 exams when the fresh hostilities saw her father first disappear and then a family being uprooted.
As
a mother and sister go out to look for work, Dakshini is picking up the pieces. Yet she yearns for home and a future she isn't quite certain she can ever aspire to. It's getting much tougher now than ever before to get to northern Sri Lanka. For the hundreds of transporters trying to ferry people between Jaffna and Colombo, what was a one-day journey either way is becoming a week-long affair. The constant fear of gunfire, landmines and the wait at numerous checks like this one at Babunya is hitting the people the hardest. On the streets of Kilinochchi, the LTTE's message for its people is an unforgiving one. 4-year cessation of hostilities has not yielded them self-government, just the promise of it. The Tamil people, the LTTE say, must remember past atrocities and fight to the bitter end.
சிங்கள அரசும் எதிரி படைகளும் இப்படியான கொடூரங்களையும் அவலங்களையும் இன அழிப்பு நடவடிக்கையை மேற்கொண்டு ஒரு இன அழிப்பு யுத்தத்தை அவர்கள் மேற்கொள்வார்களே ஆயின் அதிலிருந்து எங்கள மக்களையும் நமது தேசத்தையும் பாதுகாக்கக்கூடிய வலிமையோடையும் அந்த ஆயத்தத்தோடையும் நாங்கள் எப்பவும் அதை பேணிக் கொண்டுதான்.
What is worrying UN agencies like UNICEF is that children are being enlisted in the impending war in violation of an 8-year-old pledge by the LTTE. The Tigers bristle at the allegation.
பல்லாயிரக்கணக்கான குழந்தைகள் பெற்றோரை இழந்து எங்களுடைய பராமரிப்புக்குள் இருக்கிறார்கள். ஆக இவற்றையெல்லாம் புலிகள் ஆயுத படைக்கு சேர்த்தார்கள், ஆயுதமயப்படுத்தி விட்டார்கள் என்று சொல்றது அவர் உண்மை நிலைகளை கண்டு அறிக்கைகளை விடுவதுதான் பொருத்தமாக. ஆகவே நாங்கள் ஐநா சபையிடம் வேண்டியிருக்கிறோம்.
The war rhetoric, the LTTE says, is essential for their ultimate aim, a separate Tamil state in this island nation. But consider these figures. 61% of the Tamil-speaking population is not concentrated north and east. They've spread out over the years across Sri Lanka, established roots in places like Colombo and in the hill areas. They're married here. They're now living within the communities. So should there be an all-out war between Colombo and the Tamil Tigers, just imagine the enormity of that ethnic conflict. Comrade Douglas Devanand from the EPTP, once a revolutionary Tamil group, treads carefully to find an alternative. 30 years ago, he was a guerrilla fighter like LTTE chief Prabhakaran, training at PLO camps in West Asia. Now Prabhakaran's tried to have him killed at least 18 times for crossing over into mainstream politics.
Tamil, there's a saying, the snake knows the other snake leg. So we know how Prabhakaran's functioning.
So Mahinda Rajapaksa's offer of an all-party and multi-ethnic consensus has Devanand back on the drawing board. He's even been to Jaffna to ensure he has popular support.
Put forward to the cabinet in a 3 stages how practically you can solve the problem. First thing is to implement the provincial council system. The second stage to give more powers. Third stage including LTT, then LTT will automatically they will come.
The hardest part will be convincing the Sinhala majority that this will not mean secession. Besides, many Tamil leaders say it's a proposal rejected by the LTTE before, so they have a simpler option.
So the solution is put forward, you see. If the LTTE objects to it, there will be strong opposition from certain sections of the Tamil Nadu population. So the only acceptable solution would be the Indian model. Here we are asking for a model, something like ours. The powers devolved in the Tamil, like the power devolved in the Tamil Nadu state or Tamil Nadu.
Time international peace monitors warn is running out.
Ceasefire agreement will hold its strength, but it's being violated way too much, especially this year. And that's why we are deeply concerned that this might be getting somewhere that nobody can see the end of.
Nobody wants more violence and bloodshed in this wonderful and idyllic island nation. The prospect of a separate Sinhalese and Tamil state is a frightening one, not just for ordinary Sri Lankans, but also the international community and India. So while Norway continues to play interlocutor between the Tamil Tigers and the government here in Colombo, everyone is hoping that good sense will finally prevail. Do write into us and tell us what you thought about this program inside Sri Lanka. You can write to us either at feedback@ndtv.com or SMS us at 6388. That's NDTV on your mobile phone. With camera person N. Sukumar in Colombo, I'm Shivraj Prasad for NDTV.